Campaign Against Anti-Semitism is one of the most important British pro-Israel organizations. In the beginning of September of 2025, they released the results of a poll that they had recently commissioned. This poll pertains to be proof of there being a shocking rise in anti-Semitic sentiments among the British population, a crisis of anti-Semitism. They asked each person who was polled a series of 12 questions, and those who affirmed 4 or more of them were considered to be anti-Semitic. These questions begin, innocently enough, by asking people things like whether they trust Jews as much as they do other people in business, something that only 5% of respondents said they do not, and whether they are as open to having Jewish friends as they are friends of any other group, which only 3% of respondents said they would not be. In fact, in all of these questions, which ask people about actual anti-Semitic views that they may hold, the answers are overwhelmingly not anti-Semitic at all. So then, where exactly did they get the 1 in 5 number from? Well, it's from the other batch of 6 questions, all of which are about negative views on Israel. For example, 25% said that they would not be comfortable associating with people who openly support Israel. 45% said that Israel treats Palestinians like the Nazis treated Jews, and 29% said that Israel and its supporters are a bad influence on Britain's democracy. All of these are considered by the conclusions of this poll as equally anti-Semitic as someone saying that they would never befriend a Jew. For some perspective as to just how much they clearly intentionally skewed the results here, the 6 actually anti-Semitic statements were on average supported by just 8% of respondents. That is 1 in 12, not 1 in 5, compared to 21% for the anti-Israel questions, which is 1 in 5. So it's clear that this poll's conclusion that 1 in 5 Britons are anti-Semitic doesn't actually mean that they're anti-Semitic. Rather, that assertion is totally carried by people's answers to the anti-Israel questions. Their answers to the actual anti-Semitic questions were far less enthusiastic. The point of this poll is nothing resembling an objective analysis of anti-Semitic attitudes. It's rather very purposefully designed to get the preferred result of the organization that commissioned it, and thus to give a seemingly respectable and authoritative veneer to the anti-Semitism crisis narrative, and of course to further the notion that anything anti-Israel is anti-Semitic. Funnily enough, this same organization has run similar polls going all the way back to 2015. And if you look at the results they used to get for the actual anti-Semitic questions back then, and then compare them to the results that they got in 2025, then it would appear that anti-Semitic attitudes have actually decreased substantially in the last 10 years, not risen. Quite contrary to the idea of there being an anti-Semitism crisis or a surge in anti-Semitism. Back in 2015, for example, 11% of respondents affirmed the notion that Jews were not as honest in business as other people, compared to just 5% in the 2025 poll. And 25% affirmed the notion that Jews chase money more than other people, compared to 14% in 2025. Hilariously, they had to start including more anti-Israel statements in their polls to keep their desired conclusion of there being an anti-Semitism crisis going, because their own poll results indicate that anti-Semitism is actually significantly less prevalent now than it used to be. The only thing that's actually gone up is anti-Israel sentiment, as you would expect, given the genocide.